before we get started, if you guys need anything for your studio, make sure you guys go ahead and click mysounds.com link in the description and get you something for your studio. They have a whole bunch of stuff on the site that requires no credit or background check, meaning all you have to do is order it, they'll ship it to you, and then you just make monthly installments on the equipment. All they just need is a credit or debit card hooked to the account so they can take the money out monthly. Now, it's not everything on the site, but it is a whole bunch of stuff on the site that you guys can go ahead and get right now with no credit or background check. So go ahead and click that sounds.com link in the video description and get you some gear today. All right, you guys know how much I rock with analog cases because they make the best cases that will protect your musical gear. However, did you guys know that they make very dope stands as well? You need to check out the XTS stands. These things are crazy. They come in 2 different sizes, and these things are made of premium steel. If you're someone like me who uses their MPC Live 2, or if you use like a Machine Plus, or a Machine, or like a SP404, or even like an iPad or smaller DJ gear, these stands are made for professional musicians just like you. And the good thing about it is, you don't have to break the bank to get the stands. They're very inexpensive. So if you're a musician that is looking to get a professional grade stand, make sure you guys go ahead and click my analog cases link in the description and get you a stand today. Yo. We got an echo? We got an echo going on? Oh, man. We had an echo. How did that happen? I got to get that checked out. Got to see what's going on with that one. It was crazy. The echo was crazy. Okay. All right. I had the output on some other stuff, man. It was crazy. But, hey, at least y'all, got that part. All right, man. So did it like when I clicked that button, did it the echo go away? Did the echo go away? Because I don't know. I can't really hear it on my end, but I guess it kind of did it go away when I clicked that little button halfway through that second ad? Silver Duck said, I thought it was my computer. Oh, man. Okay, so it did go away. Okay, so now I got that fixed. Y'all are my guinea pigs for the night. Oh, Beats by Douche. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see who's in here right now. Let's see who is in the chat right now. Y'all better go ahead and say something, man, so I can shout you out. We got Soundboy, Mill on the track. We got Leather Jacket Assassin. What's good? Cold Heat, Beats by Douche. Frequency IO, Stevie G, Black, BX82, Joe Swanson's Gun. Okay. Well, producer, Antonio Lamar, brother Silver Duck. What's good, man? Mike Fresh Beats, Eric Rab, Astro. You gotta do that like in dictionary form for me. Astro corrects written. Okay. Astro, what's good? What's good? Let's see here. Tip, what's good? Let's good. Jay Leno, what's good? Mike Schilling, what's good? All right, so we got a few people in already. Fast Lane Life, what is good? What is good? What is good? So it's good to see y'all on here late night. I haven't been on here as much because I have been doing some construction work at my studio, so I've been kind of like focusing on that and trying to get that stuff done. Of course, you guys know I had a really bad water leak in the back part of my studio. My front part of my studio is straight, okay? And it's not currently this studio here, okay? This is over at the crib. It's not this studio. It's my commercial spot that I have near Atlanta. And, well, it's in Atlanta, but, it's not downtown Atlanta, but it's in Atlanta, Zone 6 to be exact. But, yeah, I had a really bad leak back there, called some contractors in, and boy, they were trying to hit your boy over the head. They were trying to hit your boy over the head, man. They were trying to hit your boy over the head bad. They tried to get me bad. But good thing about it is I kind of know how to build a little bit. And so, you know, with my help of one of my good homeboys, he actually just had twins today. So he wasn't able to help me out today. And with a few of my friends that came by, but pretty much about 85% of the work I did on my own. And I just learned along the way and just took some chances. And, man, it came out pretty cool. I'm almost ready to finish phase 1, which is the studio part. And I'm gonna finish phase 2 later on, which is gonna be like the chill area and stuff like that. I'm gonna do something really nice in there. And I'm getting it done. So I should be able to lay down some floors, I think, by Thursday, and just get all the finishing touches in there. And of course, get to order some new stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I lost a lot with the water damage, but thanks to insurance, they did cut me a nice check to replace that stuff. So I got a decent check. I should have probably told them everything, which I didn't. I was trying to be the good guy. I ain't want to, a lot of that stuff I could salvage, but some of that stuff I couldn't. But they told me, it's like, hey, if there's anything else, just call us and we'll try to get you straightened out. And I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, trying to get all that stuff situated. And, I try to be the good guy. I don't try to overdo it because some people really out here try to do like insurance fraud and stuff like that. I'm not that type of person. I can't do all that, man. I can't do all that. But I went ahead and did most of the work myself, and it's worked out really well, and I did it the way I wanted to do it. And it's coming along. So you might check out some of my stuff that I did on my YouTube shorts, I guess, or on my communities tab. You'll see some of that stuff like that. But yeah, we are in it today. We're in it to talk about, man, some of y'all producers, man, y'all are sensitive, boy. Man, sensitive. I can't stress the enough, because I've been going through it with some of these really sensitive producers lately. And man, it's something serious that we got to get a grip on this. Come on, congregation, we got to get a grip on this. Number one I need for y'all to do is I need y'all to go ahead and hit that like button so we can get a few more people in here. Of course, I'm going to be coming on live a little bit more. Live is just a little bit better for me right now, but if there's new products or something that's coming out, of course, you guys know I'm going to go ahead and report on that and do that. Like I'm gonna do a video on some clippers. They have some new products coming out this week and next week that is pretty interesting. I'm really interested in what's coming out on the 25th. Roland has a nice surprise on the 25th coming out. So just stay tuned for that. And there's a few other companies. Something's dropping on the 18th. It's cool. New little microphone coming out. It's actually pretty cool on the 18th. So y'all might want to go ahead and check that out. But y'all make sure to go ahead. If you're watching this right now, please go ahead and hit that like button, that thumbs up button, so we can get a few more people in here so we can go ahead and have this discussion, because I want to see what you guys have to say in the comment section. All right, so y'all go ahead and hit that like button. If you are watching this right now, go ahead and hit that like button for me right now so we can go ahead and get a few more people in here. Just take 2 seconds out your day and go ahead and do that. But hey, congregation, man, we got to get this thing together. We definitely got to get this together because, number one, I've noticed in the past, I would probably say in the past 10 years, that there has been a level of entitlement that has come across the producer community. And I've noticed it, like I said, around 10 years ago. And it's kind of correlating with the rise of, social media, with video stuff going on. Now people can see other people moving. Back in the day, you used to hear about a lot of stuff, and then when you get around them, you can kind of see it, and it was like that. Now, all of a sudden, with the social media, with the video footage, you can post something up immediately. Somebody can see it, somebody can comment, somebody can like it, somebody can dislike it. It is becoming a thing now, it's coming a thing now to where it's getting crazy. Like Beat Man with these scammers. Like, I keep trying to tell, I can tell people who really watch me and people who don't watch me who almost get scammed, because they'll be like, Bolo, I almost got scammed. And I'd be like, bruh, I could tell you don't watch none of my stuff because, or I can't say none of it, you don't really watch too much, because I made several videos and several posts about I don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I guess they pick me is because a lot of times, you know, I guess they feel I can sell a product. I don't know. And one thing about it is they know that the congregation over here, they know that the Bolo congregation is tight. You know what I'm saying? So when they see something that's tight, they try to intrude or try to break in. And we can't have that over here, y'all. We can't have that. We got to make sure that we don't let any intruders come in. So I'm going to say this one time before I get going. I cannot and will not do any giveaways for the simple fact that it's too much scamming going on out here. Okay? I cannot and I will not do it. I cannot do it. I want to do giveaways. I really do. But I got to find a way to do this to where people will not get scammed. Okay? If it's too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. Okay? I can't do it. Now, it's other people that they're doing the same thing too, where they scamming and stuff like that. But me personally, I would love to give away a lot of stuff. I could talk to a lot of companies right now. We can get free stuff. But the way these scammers are coming at it right now, I can't do it. I cannot do it. So I really wish I could, but I can't, y'all. Unless I find a way, or if I just pull some names out of a hat, I could probably do it like that. But the way these scammers are, they're messing up for y'all. And I keep telling y'all, please go ahead and let, you know what I'm saying, and let these people, you know, let YouTube know, because I've already tried to get people to get these scammers off. I tried to Telegram. I tried to hit up Telegram. I tried to hit up everything. You know what I'm saying? I try to hit up all these different places to get these scammers out of the way, and it just won't happen. They don't budge for it. So I understand, because it's a lot of people who, you know, it's some people who do some dirty stuff, like they'll try to report your page or try to get your page removed, stuff like that. That's why I have my backup pages just in case. So if you guys see any of my I'm gonna add another page on here too, just so you know, like backup pages, so you guys can follow that. But you know, I'm not giving away nothing. So if you guys see anything about me doing any giveaways, I'm not doing it. That's not me. I'm not doing it. Unless you hear this coming from my mouth on here or any one of my videos, I'm not doing it. All right. Now, back to the regular scheduled program. From what I've seen in the past 10 years, I've seen a rise in a lot of people who feel entitled that they should be where they're supposed to be. And I tell people this all the time. If you feel like you're supposed to be where you're supposed to be, then why are you not there yet? Just being honest. If you feel like you're supposed to be where you're at, then why are you not there yet? And this is a question that I think a lot of people need to ask themselves. Why am I not there yet? What am I doing wrong to where I'm not at the point of where all the top producers are? And I need to figure this out. What am I doing wrong? Could it be my beats? Could it be how I market myself? Is it where I live at? Am I getting out of the house? Am I networking? Am I doing the things that I need to do to get myself to where I need to be? And the problem with a lot of people who do sit here and moan and bitch and gripe about certain things is they don't do half of that stuff. Because the thing about it is, the reason why I'm at where I'm at is because of a grind, a daily grind, and I bet it on myself. I bet it on myself. What's good? Some HTK. What we got free this week, man? What we got free? We need a video ASAP. But that's the thing. You got to understand that you have to ask yourself that question. What am I doing wrong as a producer or as a rapper? Somebody said on here, yeah, we can't leave the rappers in there. It's not just rap. It's everything. It's country, it's rap, it's R&B, it's folk, it's rock, it's everything. Everybody feels that they're entitled to be where somebody else is at, and it just can't be like that. I'm just going to be totally honest with you. It's just not that. And I remember it was a rapper that said that, I'm not the best rapper. I think it was Rollo. I think it was. And I like that quote he said. He said, he's basically saying that, there's some guys who might be better than him, or, it might be some people that might have been in the game longer that just never got their shot. But really, it's up to the man upstairs to pick you to be in that position, which is very much true. You know what I'm saying? Which is very much true. But even if the man upstairs gives you that essence of being in the music business and being somebody popular and famous, you still have to work. You still have to work. And to your point, Amadi, yes, the game is oversaturated, and the game is always going to be oversaturated. It's been oversaturated since about 2003, to be honest with you. Once the laptops came out, and once the laptops could really just have software and stuff on it, the game has been oversaturated for a very long time. Because when I used to go back and forth to Atlanta, there was a gazillion producers here that were dope. You know what I'm saying? A gazillion. So you still had to make your way. But one thing that I did is I traveled. Whether I was back home in Florida at the time, or if I was in college in Alabama or whatever, I traveled. I got in my ragged ass car and I drove to Atlanta. I drove to Florida. I drove all through Alabama, drove to Tennessee, drove down to Texas. We would go to all of these different DJ things, open mics, all this stuff. I used to be in Columbus, Mississippi. I used to be in the Delta. I used to be at the Crossroads. I used to be in the middle of nowhere, Alabama. I used to be everywhere. If they had an open mic or whatever, I was there, and I wasn't rapping. I was there to showcase my beats and hand out my CDs. Y'all know about, handing out CDs back in the day, right? Y'all know that. And yes, I do, Beatman. I can definitely agree with you when you said that oversaturation is an excuse. It definitely is, because there are new producers coming out right now as we speak. There's a producer making a beat tonight a new producer that's making a beat tonight that a rapper is going to get on tomorrow, and it's going to change their lives. You know what I'm saying? That's how this thing works. But one thing I have noticed is things that have not changed is people who go out and travel and shake hands and meet people. Those are the people who tend to get there a little bit faster. Now, there are some people who make beats on the internet, or they might put their beat up on YouTube, and there might be 1 out of 30 billion beats that get picked that might become a single and do that. There is a chance. You can win the lottery, as I call it. You can win the lottery to do that. But it's very, very, very slim to do that. You got to be able to move around a little bit. Like tomorrow, I'm recording my guy, Mike Mixer, and he has another producer. He slipped my mind right now. Look, Kel, producer named Kel. They got a placement on Glorilla's last album. Kel's first big placement, and Mike met him at a beat battle. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, mill on the track, you have to keep working, and you have to keep going out, and you have to keep promoting yourself, and people have to see you, because there's one thing about this music game that I cannot stress, and that is the human element. Meeting somebody, being in the studio. That's why even with these loop makers will go rent out a house for a week, and these guys will work together on loops all day and just soak up each other's energy all day, because we have to have that human element. I understand a lot of you guys want to sit inside the house. I understand a lot of you guys want to be comfortable in where you're at, but the most uncomfortable situations is what makes a lot of winners. Okay? Now, I'm trying to give y'all some free game on this now, and this is something that a lot of people are going to tell you, even if you sit there and try to pay somebody. It's a lot of people that'll go out and pay for the information I'm telling you guys right now, okay? It's a lot of people that'll do that. You know, one thing I want to ask you guys, I want to ask one thing from you guys since I'm giving out this free information. Just hit the like button. I don't even want no donation. Now, if you do want to give one, you can give a donation. But I don't want no chat revenue or whatever like that. I really just want to talk to you guys because I really want you guys to understand that blaming other people for what you got going on is not right. It's not right at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't blame this, you can't blame, like right now, this is the craziest thing to me, right? I've had probably, I don't really have too many problems with it, but when I do, it kind of hurts me a little bit because the people who get mad at me, the first thing I do is I try to find them online. I try to find their IGs. I try to find out what they did, who they produced for, whatever, right? That's what I do. I do research. And even though I got 1,001 things going on throughout the day, I still find time to research. And I find these people. I go to their pages and I see why. I'm like, man, okay. They're mad at themselves. A lot of times, these people that get mad because they don't get certain opportunities or they feel that I'm not doing enough for them, which is crazy because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how anybody can get mad at another person because that person didn't get them where they need to be at. Do you know how many producers are signed to very big producers that don't get placements like that? You know what I'm saying? Do you know how many producers have to grind it out every single day just to get 5 and 10 and 20 placements a year? And then you have to split that down with other producers. So that 5 and 10 placements can really equal up to maybe one decent placement. You know what I'm saying? You might get 5% here, 7% here, 3% there, 10% here, 15 there. It might add up to something like that. And it's the rat race. You know what I'm saying? But then you have some producers that can really, turn around and get hot. And they might have 2 or 3 years really good in the game. But for anybody to get upset because they feel like another producer is not doing enough for them, that is insane. You know what I'm saying? You're right. Okie Razor. Like, for real. You got to think about this, right? I came and moved to Atlanta in 2007. And I want y'all to listen to my story real quick, right? I moved to Atlanta basically August 1st. It was July 31st, moved in. But August 1st was my first day of work when I called it in Atlanta. When, you know what I'm saying, me and my ex moved up here, you know what I'm saying, I was like, I'm giving this a year. I'm giving it a year. Maybe, I might have said 2 years. I only had enough money to really last me 2 years. I moved up here in 2007, middle of 2007. By the end of that first week, I found a studio in downtown Atlanta and I had it built out in less than a week. That's how determined I was to get to where I wanted to be. Okay? That's how determined I was. Then I had some of my guys I was recording with, so I had them come by and record. And then the first thing I started doing was hitting beat battles. Even though I had a song that was pretty hot in the streets, I had to start hitting beat battles. Right? Jay Leno, that's kind of true, but it's more than that. It's a little bit different. But I was hitting beat battles and I was showcasing myself even though I had a song that was hot at the moment. And I wasn't the type of person like, I got a hot record, I'm not going to play my beats. No, I wanted to be around these producers. You got to think, these beat battles used to have like 50 producers, and this was back in 2007. And then back then, and in 2007,
You had 50 producers at one beat battle, and we all had to pay $50 a whop to enter into the beat battle. That's right, No Data. That's right. It was She Got It at the time. My version. So it was, it was $50 a whop. Then you had to, where I lived 30 minutes from downtown. So I had to gas up my car. I had to drive downtown. I had to pay for parking. I had to pay to get in the club, which was $10. Then pay another $50 and hope I make it past the first round. Right? And I would do that. And then some nights, and this was a thing for me. I would go to open mics, pass out my CD. I would have 17 beats on that CD. 17 beats on there. I just put my tag on them. I'd be like, man, y'all just do what y'all want. Man, I heard so many mixtapes with my beats on it. The same beat. Like, you could tell the same 5 beats everybody liked. They used them because there was a lot of mixtapes. I mean, a lot of mixtapes where people just used my beat and that was just it. You know what I'm saying? But I did all of that, right? And I did this consistently for about 2 years until the recession hit, and things kind of slowed down. But they still kept going on, but things did kind of slow down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't my hit record. The hit record I did that in 2015. My first big record was She Got It with T-Pain and Two Pistols featuring T-Pain. And that was in 2007. We recorded that in the back of my dad's house. I made the beat, recorded everything. I had a little studio in the back of my dad's house. And I made that, me and Two Pistols made that in Florida. And even though I didn't get my full credit for that, so far as on the industry side of it, I made a lot of money on the streets by selling beats. I was selling beats for $1,000, $1,500, sometimes $2,000, selling 10 beats for like $4,000, $3,000 here, $750 here. It was a good time, so I saved up a lot of money to get to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I saved up a good amount. But when I got here, I was focused on trusting the process, and I knew how to record, so I just needed the studio to where I could make $500, $600, $700 a week. As long as I made like $2,500 a month, it was enough for me to pay off, the rent for the house and to move around and to take care of some bills. And we were splitting the bills at the time, so everything's. What about Blame It? Blame It came in 2000. I met the guys. Blame It came in 2009, I believe, 2008, somewhere around there. That's where I met the guys from Texas. And we got them hooked up with another producer and stuff like that. But did the writing on that one. But they did the writing. I was managing them at that time, or until they got the deal and ran off. But that's a whole nother story. But during that time, I was producing, and I was, I was producing by day and recording people by night. I would go to open mics. I would find people to record, and then while they would come record, I would, hey, I got some beats. Do you want to rap on some of my beats? And that's how I started spreading my beats around, was by doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's a lot of, you got to put in hold on, Okie Razor, Justice League too. Justice League, they definitely did their thing as well. And Doechii from Tampa too now, so she's doing her thing too. So it's a few people. And before that, there was a lot of acts that was touring nationwide. Crazy was touring nationwide back in the 80s and early 90s. So it's a few. But from my hometown Tampa, you know what time it is. 8-1 Trey. But I did a lot of legwork, and it was certain parts of the city I didn't want to go into, but I had to do it because I had to bet on myself, and I didn't want nobody else taking credit for what I was doing. But I did meet a lot of people that did help me out. Even when I first got up here, people were supposed to take me around. They didn't do it. And I met a homeboy who took me around. Like after the third day of meeting them, I'm over at Polo the Don studio. I'm over at this person's studio. I meet Shakespeare. I meet all these different people, and I make these, dream connections with big people. I met Dallas Austin. The Runners. Yeah, the Runners too. Yeah, the Runners are from Florida. Yep. But I met, all these people, and I betted on myself even after the recession hit. When the recession hit, it was crazy because everything was closing down. Like the people that was over my building, they ditched the building. It was all type of crazy stuff. It was like bums and stuff in the building, but they ain't touched my stuff. But I still kept grinding it out. I kept grinding it out. I seen the change from old Atlanta to new Atlanta, especially from that recession. A lot of stuff closed down and a lot of things shifted during that time. And did I blame anybody for anything? No. Because I had a lot of shortcomings. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of shortcomings during that time. I thought I was going to get this placement. I thought I was going to get that placement. I was seeing people move faster than me and everything, but I didn't get upset. I just kept going and I kept doing what I needed to do. And that's the problem with a lot of people right now, is because even when I was working with certain producers and they weren't delivering, I wasn't like, oh man, forget them, man. I'm finna go, man. Da, 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 da. Only time I used to be like that is when people would do some BS and they got caught doing some BS, and I'll be like, it is what it is. You ain't never heard me on any interview or nothing like that talk about any other producers or anything or any other people. I don't do that. Because I looked at it as a learning lesson with everything. So I've always kept my pride in check. Even when I would get big placements or whatever like that, I really wouldn't. I'd be like, okay, cool. I got it. What's next? I'm always like, what's next? What are we going to do next? What's going to happen next? Not now. What's going to happen next? Are we going to have something that's going to be fantastic? Like right now. You know what I'm saying? What's going to happen? But then, I started saying, okay, look, let me start helping out other producers. Let me start doing this. Let me start doing that. You know what I'm saying? And then that's where I started noticing, like, man, hold on, Beat Man, Bolo, you probably forgot, but do you remember the time we was in the studio and you ran inside saying y'all saw aliens in the sky? Bro, those was drones. I was hoping that those were drones, bro. But drones were not. That was like 2011? Beat Man? That was like 2011, bro. They didn't have no drones like that, unless it was like some military drones, bro. But the crazy part about that? It's a funny story, y'all. Beat Man, he's remembered this time. We was at my studio in downtown Atlanta. Me, my guy Drop was there. A lot of people was there. Hollywood was there. My other guy was there, and my guy Drop came in with his shirt off. And he was like sweating, like, man, I told y'all, boy, these aliens is real. And we look out in the sky, man, we see like 50 of these things just like out. Like it was like 50 of them. You know what I'm saying? But they were moving like the drones of today. Them drones had, they couldn't have been drones, man. I'm telling you, they could not have been drones, bro. They were not no drones, man. Yeah, we ran in real fast, but we went out there and we were watching it for the longest. I'm telling you, those were not no drones, man. Like, and then because the crazy part about it is Los tried to record it on his cell phone. He had like a really good cell phone back then. He tried to record on his phone and none of the footage would show up on his phone. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. That was crazy. Because even nobody in the studio felt like those were drones. Because that was crazy. If it was, if it was, it had to be like some top level stuff that wasn't even consumer, because them things were moving like the drones of today. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. Nah, it was crazy. Yo, it was a crazy night that night, because you know what I'm saying? You couldn't even record it. Like, when we was trying to look at the footage back on the camera, like, it was nothing there. It was crazy. I mean, it was the craziest thing ever. And I used to always think to myself, like, nowadays I got a drone, but man, these were in the sky for hours. And they just zigzagging across. Want to stop, then take off and do it. It was crazy. I'm serious. It was one of the craziest nights ever. It was crazy. You believe that, Bolo? Man, I don't know what to believe, tell you the truth. I just believe what I saw. That's all I can say. All I can say is I believe what I saw. But it's not like that technology of drones wasn't out at that time. This had to be like 20, because this was still like, I was still in my old building at that time. So it had to be like 2011 at that time. Like 2011, because I was still in my old crib. It had to be like 2011, 2012 at the time. Like, it was crazy. I don't know what to believe, but that night was crazy. That night was crazy. It might have been that same night. I am the Craftsman. I'm telling you, that was a crazy, crazy situation, man. It had to be like 2011. I know y'all laughing, but look, I Am the Craftsman just said it. Same thing happened when me and my crew had a studio in 2011 in Atlanta. I'm telling you, that was the craziest time, man. That was the craziest thing ever. That was crazy, but it was one of those nights. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those nights. I might have had a few drinks in my system and a little smoke in me too. It's crazy. But yeah, let me get back to what I was talking about, because I had some points, but I'm finna throw those away. But that was a crazy night, and it was a crazy night. But you know, we went home, we slept it off, and it was great. I feel you, I Am the Craftsman. Yeah, that ish was very spooky that night. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy, because it was during a recession, and like, it's usually on a night where a lot of stuff used to go on in Atlanta, but when the recession hit, a lot of stuff closed down. So it was eerily quiet that night. It was crazy. It was crazy. But I wasn't scared. It wasn't like a scary feeling. It was like a dang, like, these things really exist. It was crazy. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying, with a lot of these producers, right? One producer got mad because they felt like I wasn't showing them like I guess they felt like I wasn't giving them enough feedback on their beats and stuff like that. It was like, oh, you're not really giving me feedback on my beats. This, that, whatever. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, I do a live beat review and I have 10 free slots, and this guy had a free slot. You know what I'm saying? This guy had a free slot, and he felt like I didn't give him his just due because he had a free slot on my live beat review. Okay? Now, y'all know me. I don't like being on live that long. I'm not one of these people that can be on live for 3 hours. It's just not me. Like, what somebody else does, I can't do, because I got to move. That's why when I make my beats, I got to have my beat done in like 10 or 15 minutes, or it's just too much. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. You know, might be borderline ADHD. I don't know. But when I'm on my live beat reviews, you got a free slot. That's basically giving you a free slot to play your beats in front of hundreds of people that come in and out the chat. And he just felt like, oh, it's like the past couple weeks you were very mean to me and stuff like that. And I'm like, mean to you? I don't even know you. All I'm going to say is, hey, I like your beats or I don't like your beats. It is what it is. But if you're getting a free slot, that's on you to put your beat on there and for me to play it. And then people in the chat are like, the beat is okay. It don't sound too good. Some people are like, nope, this, that, whatever. And I'm giving my 2 cents. I'm like, hey, the beat is okay. You know what I'm saying? It's not, it's nothing very special. It is what it is. What else you want me to say? Well, the high frequency is not that high, and the bass might need a bass roll off at 20 hertz, and at 4K you might have bumped it there, and you might put a compressor on this, or you might squash that, or I'll rearrange it this way. I'm not going to do all that, especially not for no free slot. And he was like, I'm fine. I had to just get this off my chest, so I'm finally free. And I'm sitting there like, yo. I'm like, people are really like that? And I had to think about it. It's like, it's been a lot of weird stuff going on these past 10 years because people think that it's something with the internet, y'all. I mean, just being honest, it's something with the internet that has these people acting really weird. Because before that, if I would say, like, when somebody would come to my studio, they're like, Bolo, what do you think about this beat? And I'd be like, it's cool. Like, what I need to switch on, I'd be like, well, I think you need to just change this and change that. And I would usually tell people like, bro, you're dope. Like, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of you guys right now. There's a lot of you guys right now that make way better beats than me. There's a lot of you guys out here right now that make way better beats than me, can mix better than me and all that stuff. You just haven't had that chance. You haven't had that break. And I'm one of the few people online, the few YouTube producers, influencers, whatever you want to call me, platinum producer, whatever. But there's a lot of you guys who make better beats than me. Okay? And shout out to you guys, because there's some of you guys that are extremely dope that just have not got that chance. So I open up my platform for you guys to have that chance, because if only y'all knew some of the people that actually been on there and listen to some of y'all beats, you guys would be astonished. You guys would be astonished on who would actually come into these beat reviews and listen to y'all beats. Some of the top producers have been on there. Some of them come on and they say, hey, sometimes. Some of them don't. Some of them come on a different name. Some of them don't even be in the chat. They just watch. And they'll be like, yo, like I get a text from some random number like, yo, the beat review is dope. And I'm like, who is this? And they'll be like, oh, such and such. I'm like, whoa, oh, thank you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know you still have my number. You know what I'm saying? And people would drop in and people would listen to some track. Well, like, one of the producers is a very, very well-known producer, big producer. He came in, and I'm glad he came. He came in the one that was probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago. We had a really good review. Like 2 weeks straight, we had some really good reviews. And he came in on the first one, the one that was really good. And he was like, yo, that beat review, yo, these guys got me want to turn up tonight. And I'm like, for real? He's like, yo, that was some good beats. Like, collectively, that was some of the best beats I heard from like these beat things that go online. I'm like, yo, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And it felt good because I didn't even know somebody of his caliber is watching this, but a lot of these guys have time on their hands and they want to hear different stuff and hear a different come up. Doesn't mean that you're going to get signed or nothing like that, but it's just, you got somebody in here that is, hey, I like what you're doing. I think what you're doing is cool. And that's what my platform is for. Like, it's shifting now from me to you guys. It used to be, I want to make all my beats. I want to show you guys how I'm making my beats, which I still are going to do that. But it's more shifting for how, EA Ski comes on all the time. I'm talking about like, you know, like the big producers of today, like the young guys. I'm not going to say who it is because I told them I'll never say who it is. But, you know, they're up there. Let's put it like that. You know, Honorable C-Note came on one time. He watches all the time, but he don't really comment like that. But he came on one time and was going in the chat and stuff like that. You know, Warren G, he came on in here. Ski definitely comes on. It's a lot. You know, who else? It's a lot of producers that came on. Timbaland's been on. You know, he comes on my side every once in a while or whatever. I know he comes on more the IG side. He comes on my IG side. Let's be for real about it. He comes more on the IG side with a lot of that stuff like that. So there's a look at Sean Burrell. It's a lot of people that come on. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that come on and they want to just hear what you guys got. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean they're gonna. KLC has been on a lot of time. These people that I talk to on the phone on the regular. You know what I'm saying? Warren G just moved to Atlanta. He called me when he got here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people that come on here. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't know if Metro's ever been on here. I don't know. So I don't know about that. But you know. It's people that come on here and I try to open up my platform. These people get mad because they like, oh, Bolo, you don't like my beats? You don't like my beats? You don't like my beats? I'm like, okay, well, cool. If I don't like your beat, then how about you play it for somebody else and let them tell you that they like your beat just so they can get your money? Because that's all this thing is. A lot of people get online and want to get online to strictly just make money, just to make money. They would stroke people's egos enough just to make money. And this is what people used to do on the street level back in the day. They would find artists. Oh, you're dope. You're this. You're that. I'm going to take you to the promised land. Just pay me this much and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that for you. And then next you know, it turns into $100 here, $200 there, $400 there, $250 here. And they're doing that to like 20 other people so they can keep their lights on at their house. And then that's what people used to do. They used to stroke people's egos, or what they'll do is they play with people's emotions. That's one thing that I'm not going to do. I'm not going to play with nobody's emotions when it comes to this music. I don't play with people's emotions because that's a very dangerous thing to do when you play with people's emotions, because some people are really passionate about what they do and they're willing to do anything to get to that point. And that's the most dangerous situation any producer, artist, or whatever can be in, is somebody who is so passionate of something that they will fall for any move or any trick in the book. Right? And a lot of people do that. They'll get on here knowing these beats are sounding good. They'll be like, oh, yeah, it sounds good, man. We need you back, man. Just come on, man. Get you a slot for next week. Me, that's why I open it up for the 10 free slots. Open it up for 10 free slots. So if you get in there, you get a free slot. So you don't got to pay every single week. You know what I'm saying? And then I said, you know what? I'm gonna start just keeping this thing up for only 15 minutes only, because if you know, I know the 10 free slots gonna go fast, but if you don't want to pay, it's cool. I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping on $25. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping on $25. I cannot trip on that, because people sit here and be like, oh man, I got to get as much money as I can. I'm not tripping. The Lord is still blessing me with the music that I got. You know what I'm saying, that I've had out, and the stuff that I'm doing now. The Lord is still blessing me, and I'm happy with where I am right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping I can just sustain it for a very long time, because with the more you making music, the more stress you get, and I'm trying to be stress free with a lot of this stuff. Okay. But, you know, a lot of producers will get mad at that. Then some producers will feel like, oh, you took my beat, you put it in your beats I like folder. Did I get a placement yet? I'm like, nah, I played it, but it doesn't mean that just because I slide it into that folder with the beats I like, that doesn't mean that you're automatically going to get a placement. Hell, there's a lot of beats I make that do not get picked. Like, I'm in the studio with certain people, or I'll send beats to people every single week, and they still don't pick my stuff. Or they'll be like, Bolo, that wasn't it. That wasn't the right pack. That's not this, that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Do I sit there and get mad at them and say, oh my God, they don't pick none of my beats, man. I'm tired of them, man. They don't know what they got. No. I'm not doing that. I'm still making beats for that artist, because I can possibly make 99 beats, and then on that 100th beat might be the one that would take care of me for the rest of my life. That's the way you got to look at this music thing. You can't look at it like, oh, every beat I make is the hardest beat in the world. It's not even about being the hardest beat in the world. It's about the beat that fits what that artist is going through that day. That's why I have no problem playing the same beats for artists after they ask for a new pack. Oh, man, thank you, Carlos James, for that donation, man. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Carlos James, thank you. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. But that's why I'm not scared to play the same pack because depending on the artist's emotions that day, they might not like certain pack of beats, but then the next day they might be in a different type of feeling. I might play the same beats. They might be like, oh, I like this. I like that one. I like that one. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it is. Everybody that makes beats don't make top level beats all the time. Like let's just be honest. Even some of the best producers, you go through that pack of 10 or 20, them first 5 be like, oh. Then that next like 6 to 10 be like, oh, okay, they dope. Then once it start going down, it's like, oh, okay. Then they'll play like beat 20, and that might be like the most simple beat ever, and the artist is like, that's the one right there. That's it. That's the beat. You know what I'm saying? That's the beat. It's like Drummer Boy. The world famous Drummer Boy who's made beats for everybody and still working with talent to this day. Running a clothing store, studio, doing different type of different business ventures, and still in the studio, still making beats, still working with new artists, fresh talent. And he'll tell you about that story when he had to make beats for Jeezy. And he had to make beats all night. And he was like, oh, I got this beat. Jeezy like, nah, that ain't it. We getting there, but that ain't it. He like, all right, cool, boom. He make another beat. Jeezy, nah, we getting there, but that ain't it. Okay, then boom. He make another beat. He's like, oh, we getting hot. And then boom, he had to make beats all night. You got to think, this is when we were making beats on like the MPC and some boards and stuff like that. So you got to think, when we making the beats, we still had to like either kind of like put them in a sequence or kind of track them out a little bit and kind of get it together so you can, hey, press play and here go this track. And a lot of times we had to press play from the start of the hook part with all the elements in, like bam. And the artist be like, it's cool. And then finally, boom, he got it done. And that beat was the beat with him and Kanye West. I put on for my city on. And I need to get him on here so he can tell you about his process. I think that'd be a good thing to have him on here live too. I'm gonna call Drummer and see if we can get him on here at some point so we can get him on live so he can tell you his stories, because he has a ton of stories of working with artists and producers and stuff all throughout the years. And he can get some really good insight. But you got to think, like, we had to work. And it wasn't like, oh, man, Jesus don't let me be, man, I'm tired of Jesus. And he left. No. And he got it done. And look how big that song is. And look at all the big songs that Drummer Boy has did over the years. You know what I'm saying? No Hands just went diamond. Shawty with Plows and T-Pain, and I put on for my city on. Like those, all the stuff he was doing with Rocco. Like, this man has hits. You know what I'm saying? This man has hits upon hits upon hits upon hits. The stuff he did with Jay-Z, like, it's hits. And just thinking, what if he would have quit that night and said, man, I'm done. Come on, man. That's what I'm saying, the entitlement with a lot of these producers. Some of these producers like, I'm only playing 10 beats, that's it. If you don't like none, that's it. Nah, man, if you want more beats, you better bring your laptop and your MIDI controller. If they want more beats past that 10, you better be ready to make some beats. Yeah, he did I Put On. Yep. Sure did. Yep. You got to look at Drummer. You got to look at his history, man. That man has done a lot of records. A lot of records. I might have got him mixed up with Jay-Z. I'm not sure if he did Jay-Z, but I don't know if Jay-Z was featured on the track. I might have got that mixed up with Toomp, but I think he did one. You know what I'm saying? I always say this, but you and Doe B had a dope chemistry. Yeah, me and Doe B were, oh, man, that was my guy, man. If Doe was alive right now, whew, no telling where I'd be right now. I'm good. But, man, if I knew how to whistle, man, we had a really dope, and we would have grew together. We would have grew together like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. And thank you, Clarence Ross, for that donation. Thank you so much for that. He said, composing music for TV and film is so cutthroat. I enjoy rap beat rejection. Sync library screeners are critical and will kill your dream if you let them. That's what I keep trying to say to people. That's what I keep trying to say to people. You know what I'm saying? You think the hip-hop game and all this stuff is tough. You got to think about people who really don't care about what they say. Like TV and film, these guys work with budgets that are already set, that they can spend on whatever and whatever they need to get. And you think they're going to sit there and just be like, hey, yeah, your beat is okay, cool. No, these people are real cutthroat, dry with you. Like, nah, we don't like that. I don't think you're ready for this type of a situation. I'm not sure how you got into this point with us. I don't think this is going to work for you. You might need to try a new profession. You'd be like, yo. And like somebody was saying about other producers hating on other producers, that's crazy too. That's crazy. But you know what? I look at that as what the friendly competition used to be like. People going to hate on whatever you do. Like, it's going to be other producers that are going to hate on your beats. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, every producer feels like their beat is going to be better than another producer. Except for me. I'm one of the people that be like, dog, hey, that boy right there, dope. He's dope. When they come into the room, it's like, oh, such and such here. We got to be right. You know what I'm saying? We got to be right. We better be on point. And that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? And then some people might leave. You might play a pack of beats and you might be okay. You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as you leave, the other producer's like, man, that nigga was trash. He was trash. It's going to happen. It's going to happen regardless of whatever that you do. They're going to hate on you. It's somebody that's not going to like everything that you do. So you can't get mad at the world because you don't get this certain placement or you don't get certain opportunities. And like I was going back before, a lot of you guys are not getting the opportunities that you're getting because a lot of you guys are so doggone stationary. You don't move around. You don't do nothing. You don't go anywhere. You don't take any risks. You don't add nothing on. You don't do anything. You think just by buying a whole bunch of equipment for your house is going to get you there. No. I would love if every single person bought an MPC from my Zounds.com link. I would love it. I would love you buying several keyboards and stuff like that or buying all this stuff. I would love for you guys to do that. But also I would love for you guys to travel. Instead of spending $1,200 on a keyboard, spend $1,200 and go to a convention and meet other musicians. Meet people who are better than you. Go to these classes out in Paris with like mix with the masters and sit down with these masters and learn how to mix better, to tune your ears to, you know, the bigger and better thing. Like, do that sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I would love for y'all to go to, you know, Zounds.com and get some gear, because Zounds is one of the best places to go get your gear. And, you know, they have a lot of stuff, you know, that you can get on monthly payments if you guys want to go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? Zounds.com, y'all. Check them out. Link in the description. But I try to tell people all the time, it's not the equipment. I can make beats on Logic. I can make beats on just about everything. You know what I'm saying? I can make beats on just about everything. Because I have my own little sound. It's just that I'm more comfortable doing it on the MPC because it just gives me that sound. I don't know what it is. It's crazy. And I like standalone. I like using it in the box, but I like standalone. You know what I'm saying? I love it. But it doesn't matter if I'm using that or whatever I'm using. If I figure out how to use that program, I'm going to make the same type of beats because that's what I like to do. I like to make my type of beats. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But don't sit here and just be buying. Man, it's some people with some immaculate studios at their house that are upset every day. There's some people that are immaculate producers that have some stuff I'm talking about $60,000 and $70,000, $80,000 worth of stuff that they paid for full price at their studio, and they're mad that they don't have any placements. But then you ask them, when the last time you been out to an open mic? Oh man, I don't go to those, man. I got this one beat just waiting for Jay-Z. If Jay-Z hit his one beat, I'm telling you, he's going to go crazy. Huh? Bruh, it's not that easy. If I play this beat for such and such artist, it's going to go crazy. Huh? Bruh, it's not that easy. You know what I'm saying? Huh? What do you mean? Jay-Z's not going to hear that. Man, don't talk to me like that, man. Jay-Z will hear. Yeah, it's like a 1 out of a billion chance, but, it's all good. Like, people be saving beats like, oh, yeah, I'm saving this beat. I'm like, so what connect do you have to get this to Jay-Z? Like, what connect do you have? You don't even have a connect in your own city to get it to the most popping person in your city. Like if you're a producer and somebody's popping in your city and you don't even know how to get a hold of that person that lives there. I'm talking about somebody that's popping that lives in your city. And you cannot get nobody, you don't have any information to get to that person. I don't think you're getting the other beat of Jay-Z. I'm just saying, I'm looking at the numbers here. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the ratio here. I'm looking at that. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's damn near impossible. Let's just say that. From somebody who should do the same thing, I'm like, boy, Plies hit his beat, da-da-da. Didn't have not one connect to him, even though he was living right there in my city. Didn't have one connect. But guess who did have a connect? My homeboy used to go out. He met Plies, so actually referred him because he used to go out to all his stuff. Next thing he started recording Plies at his crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stuff like that. I mean, he can play beats. He can do certain things. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. But for somebody, but for some of you guys, some producers, I'm not saying y'all, congregation knows better, but for some producers, these guys get upset because you or somebody like me didn't get their beats to the people that they thought, he's not, Bolo ain't real. He ain't a real producer. I gave him some beats and he ain't did nothing with them yet. Sir, ma'am, I make beats too. And a lot of times, let's be honest, a lot of times I send out a lot of other people's beats. But a lot of the artists will say, I asked you for beats, Bolo. I got an artist that got mad at me and did not want to even come back to my studio because I kept feeding them beats from other people. And they was like, no, we want your beats. We didn't come here for nobody else's. We came here for yours. What am I supposed to do then? Man, I can't do that. I got to play everybody else's beats. No, I got to go to work at that point. I got to go and pull up some beats, or if they don't like this, I'm going to make something from the spot, which that's actually some of the best thing you can ever do is build with the artist from the jump on production. I kid you not. I just sent my homeboy the other day. I took 20 beats from the Beats I Like folder. There's an artist working on an album right now. He was calling me all day on it, and I would send those beats. I was sending, before I even sent my beats, I sent 20 of other producers' beats first. And then he sent a really short text back. I don't want those. I want yours. That's all he said. I was like, are you sure? Some of these beats are hot. He's text back, I don't want those. I want yours. What do you think I'm supposed to do at that point? Oh man, I can't work with that artist, man, because they don't want to deal with nobody else's beats. No, I got to go and do what I got to do. And then I still had to make 4 beats that night before they liked one. Somewhat liked it. I don't even know if they used it. Because I sent him like 40 beats. And then he was like, I need you to make something from scratch. I need this, I need that. Then they told me something totally different, and I did it. I was right. I was just about to go to bed, and it was like, I really need this from you. I went, cut on my board, and the crazy part about it was the one beat that I made on my MPC was the one that they liked. You're right. The artist does have the last call. I can be a big time producer and all this stuff like that because I used to be in the rat race. This is what y'all got to understand. I used to be in the rat race where I was giving out beats to everybody, going to different studios every night, doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that, going. Missing out on all my life to get this. Now that I'm at this point where I can kind of throttle down a little bit, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this YouTube life. I'm enjoying making a few videos and doing some of this and doing some of that and doing some beats on the side and stuff like that. I'm enjoying it because I don't want to be in a rat race because I still got kids. You know what I'm saying? I got my kids that's going to football practice. I got this and that. I'm cool with kind of falling back a little bit. I'm straight. I am straight. I'm straight. That's why you don't see me with a lot of like placements and stuff like that. I'm cool. And I try to tell people all the time too, is just because you see a producer that has 18 placements that year or 20 or 50 placements, it does not mean that they're making more money than you. I can almost guarantee you guys, a lot of you guys right now on here are working a 9 to 5, a 40-hour work week. And I'm telling you, about 98% of you guys make more money than some of these producers that put up all their credits. I'm telling you. Thank you so much, Steve Knight Train. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for that donation, man. I appreciate that. But this is the thing about it. And I ain't going to be on here too much longer, but this is the thing about it. The one thing about y'all jobs is when you clock in, you're in. You got to work. When you clock out, you're done on most of your jobs. Now, if you're a salary person, you know how that can go. They might continue with some stuff. But I'm just saying for you hourly people, usually when you clock in to work, you clock in. When you clock out, you ain't got to worry about that job until you clock back in. Right? Then you can do everything you want to do without your job calling you, this, that, whatever. Boom, you're done. With music, there is no clock in and clock out. And a lot of these kids are making beats every single night. A lot of these guys are living sometimes 6 people to a 2-bedroom apartment. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. A lot of these kids are homeless. If it wasn't for like a college dormitory or they being in college or they or whatever, they'll be homeless. You know what I'm saying? Doing music. Because I was damn near homeless when I first started doing it. You know what I'm saying? When I was in college, I ain't really had that much money. Hell, I took on a little job at Walmart, and I was an RA for the dorms. You know what I'm saying? I never really had like a real job. And then for me to move back to Florida after my mom died, she left us a little bit of money. I took all that money and dumped into music. And I bet it on myself. And boy, after everything was gone, I had to hold myself up with recording people, and it held me up. And I got to where I'm at now. But just understand this, you guys. For all of y'all who are getting upset, for all of y'all who feel a certain type of way, for all of y'all who feel like, oh my goodness, this music thing ain't working out for me, look at what your job pays you and understand that you are making more than 99% of the producers out here yearly. Because yes, one producer might have a good year and they might make a couple hundred stacks here and that, whatever, but then that's got to survive. But imagine you making $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 a year every single year on a good job with benefits. We don't get no benefits in this music. If your publishing ain't that good, you won't get no benefits. A lot of these producers are producing beats that don't even have health insurance. There's a lot of producers out here that don't have health insurance. Think about that. That might have a big placement on the radio. I know how much a big placement could be on the radio. I know how much it is. It's a couple thousand, 100,000. Sometimes you can make $100,000, $300,000 over the course of a couple years. But some of these guys don't even have health insurance. Some of these guys are still living with other people, but will go out with the money that they have and buy a brand new car and buy a chain, and everybody, oh my God, he's doing it. He's this, that, whatever. He's got 20 placements this year. Yeah, he got 20 placements. So he got 3% on this one. He got 5% on this one. He got 8% on that one. He got 2% on this one. And some of those records are album cuts. And then some of these records might be a little single, but they really ain't do that good. I know this. But then you have somebody like me who doesn't do nearly as much, but these guys, when I walk in the room, it's like, Bolo, what's good? You know what I'm saying? Like all the new guys know me more from YouTube than they know me from actual my stuff. And I have to break it down to them like I did this track, that track. Like, oh, dang, you actually really did some stuff. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying if you're doing music, that's why I always tell you guys, if you're doing music, do it because you love it. Music is just like football. It doesn't matter what college you go to. It could be D1, D2, D3, D4, whatever, NAIA, whatever you want to do. If you're good, somebody is going to find you. If you're good, people are going to talk about you. If you're worthy of it, your name is going to get spread somewhere or another. Somebody's going to find you. All the antics and everything people try to do, that's cool. But if you're good enough, people will find you. People will talk about you. Like Leather Jacket Assassin. I ain't going to lie to you. Leather, if I would have known you probably 6 years prior to knowing you, I would have probably got you in Slaughterhouse because they were living, all those guys were living in Atlanta on the east, in Lithonia in Atlanta during that time. My homeboy just told me like, yeah, them boys stayed up the street from me. I'm like, what? Do you know where they at now? They're like, I don't know if I can get a hold of them now. Because I'm the type of person is if I feel like somebody else's beats can fit an artist, I'm going to try to get that person's beats over to them. Like I love Leather Jacket Assassin when he goes on IG and he's playing his beats online and stuff like that. I think Leather Jacket Assassin is a star of a producer. Thank you, Soldier P Beats. Thank you so much for that donation, man. I really appreciate that. I think he's a star at what he does. I think Ducky DeVito is a star. I think A.O. Sean is a star at what they do. You know what I'm saying? I think certain people just stars at what they do. That's why I fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I feel that you're a star at what you do, I'm going to tell people about you. But then I have to see if you love making music. Because one thing about this is, once you get deep in this game, it turns into a business. And if you don't love music, the business will knock you out of your creativity. So for all these producers getting mad at me, oh man, Bolo don't listen to my beats, whatever, come on over to this side over here. Come on over to the business side of this music thing and see how much you hate me or don't like me or how entitled you feel. Come on over to the side where you can go to APG or someplace like that and you think your beats are hot and there's 40 other producers in it that got way more heat than you got. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that. 40 more producers that's like 18 years old that got heat that you never heard of, but then you'll ask them like, so what have you worked on? Oh, I worked on this album, this album, this album, this album, this album, and they just they're going down the list. It's like, this dude only 18 years old, and this dude is making, he's on 40 songs. He got 40 placements this year. Thank you so much for that donations, Buttons Creations. Thank you so much. But just imagine that. You're in the big leagues. That's why I came to Atlanta, because I wanted to be in the big leagues, and I wanted to see if I can outshine and get to that point, and I did it, and I did it the way I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it the way I've always done it, by bringing up basically no-name artists to where they're at right now. And that's the way I am right now. I'm a producer. I'm not a placement chaser. I'm a person who gets with an artist, and I build with that artist, and we go from there. That's just how I do it. So for all of you guys right now who are upset, who feel like everything is it's not going your way, you're too sensitive, and all this other type of stuff, don't worry about that little petty mess, man. Because all you're doing is taking all that energy and putting it in the wrong place. Thank you so much about that, Andre. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for that donation. Stop taking that negative energy with you, because I'm going to tell you right now, that stuff follows you. Even though if you might not say it, you might say it in a nice way or whatever, that stuff follows you. And the moment that you straighten up your way and you feel like, okay, listen, a lot of this stuff is on me. You have to say a lot of this stuff that's going on is on me. What have I done differently to get me out of this situation? Some of y'all guys haven't done anything different in the past 10 years. Now you're in your 30s, your 40s, some of y'all in y'all 50s, and you still have not changed up anything yet. You still haven't. It's some people right now that are 2 hours away from Atlanta. Some people that are 6 hours, 8 hours away from Atlanta, right? Right now, Atlanta is in festival mode. There is so many festivals going on around Piedmont Park, around the Atlanta Beltline, downtown, midtown area, every single weekend, where there's people outside playing the guitars, people trying to get off from the music. You can walk down there, you'll see some celebrities down there just chilling. You'll see different people chilling. Some of y'all need to come here and just soak up the energy here. Maybe find a little studio, book up some studio time, some stuff like that. Soak up the energy so you can have something different and see something different. But some of y'all want to just sit home and see things from a distance. You have to be sometimes around a different energy. Like, I used to travel to different cities and just book a hotel room, open up the window, and just make beats. Then I'll maybe leave out the hotel and maybe, I try to always get a hotel that's near like some events, like around like a little, they have a whole bunch of restaurants or something happening. I would go there, you know what I'm saying? And grab some food or whatever. Then I walk back to the hotel and just make beats so I can just find a different energy sometimes. I would go to LA, man, get me a room. I always get me a room at the Westin by the airport. And I would just open up my window and just see the planes coming in. I'll be making beats. Then I'll get a little Uber to Hollywood, go down there real quick, just soak up the vibes and stuff a little bit. Then boom, I might go to Santa Monica Beach real quick, go to the pier, soak up some vibes, go back to the room, make some beats. And those beats would sound different. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like sometimes you need different vibes and you need different things to happen. And that's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that. So you can't sit here and just be staying at your house collecting equipment and hoping something's going to happen. No, sometimes take things a little differently. Take a different approach. If you know they're having some beat battles in the city that's close to you, go there. Play your beats. Because yes, I might not like the beats, but play it for some different people and you never know. They might like it. Or they might say, you know what? I don't like those beats either. That way you can get a different vibe from a different person. Because one thing I'm not going to do anymore is stroke people's egos like that no more. I'm not doing that. I'm not stroking no more egos. I'm not doing that anymore. That ain't happening. I know people used to do that with me, but they stopped doing it because they know I wasn't no fool. Let's stop being fools out here, y'all. Stop being fools and stop being people that can easily be manipulated just because they stroke your ego. Oh, man, your beat sounds so good, man. You just pay me this and I'll take you this, or you pay me this and it's a little fee, but I'll do this. Like, you don't need to pay nobody for nothing. The internet can give you everything you need for a producer. If you want to put your beats out there, you can go right there to Instagram, right? You can go right there to Instagram, pay $10 for an ad and run an ad on your stuff right now. If you feel your beat is that good, run an ad on it, shoot it to a whole bunch of people. Like if you make a beat and you think 21 Savage likes it, go ahead, run an ad, a Facebook ad or Instagram and Facebook ad, put in there who's your target audience, 21 Savage fans, stuff like that. Put on there, shoot that ad out to everybody. Put $10, $20, $30, $50 on that ad. Shoot it out to people so people can see it. That will be better than you paying $300, $400 to anybody out here. Go to BeatStars. Put an ad out. Yeah, BeatStars too. Put an ad out. Do some sponsorships on BeatStars or Airbid or whatever you want to do. That is a way you can do it. You don't have to pay nobody to do none of this stuff for you guys these days. Thank you, Steve Night Train, again. Thank you so much. So if you believe in that, you know, if you feel like you can't get out the house, oh, man, I'm stuck in the house. Or some people say, man, my money just a little funny. I can't do this, man. I can't do that, man. I just can't move like that. If your money is funny, and I'm going to tell you guys some of this right here, and I know I'm going to piss some of y'all off, but I'm going to sign off anyway, so I'll let y'all kind of marinate on this. But if you guys claim that you ain't got no money, but if you guys can pick up a blunt every day and pick up a bottle every day or pick up any other things every other day to get your mind right, you got enough money. You just got to break that habit. That's it. Because there's so many people saying, man, I can't do it, man. They'll be sitting there talking to me like some of my homeboys. Man, money just look funny, man. But they steady rolling up. They steady rolling up. And every day I see them rolling up and I'm just counting. That's at least $10 right there. That's at least 10. So you spend at least $10 a day. That's $70 a week. That's okay. All right. That's at least $200. That's $310 that you just spent on smoke a month. So if I add that up, so you basically spent $3,600 to $4,000 a year on smoke. I wonder what you can do with $4,000 a year. Go out of town. You can buy you a little car. You could do a few things. Or some people be like, I ain't got the money right now, but they DoorDash every day. They'll order DoorDash for $20 a meal that usually only costs $8 in the store. It's about sacrifices if you want to do it. Like, one thing about me is when I want to save for some equipment, oh my goodness. Any female I was with used to hate me because I would be like, oh, I'm only eating 2 Checkers burgers a day. I'm getting the 2 for $2 with the water. Why are you doing that? Okay, my check is this much. I got to pay my bills, and I'm trying to get this new keyboard. This keyboard is $1,400. If I do right, within 4 months, I have enough to get this keyboard. I'm going to do some little jobs. I'm going to record a few more people and do this and do that. I don't want no food. I'm not turning on the AC because that's costing too much. I'm not turning on the heat. I'll sleep I'll sleep under the covers to stay warm. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to walk. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that because I would sacrifice certain things. Okay? And that's the main thing about it. A lot of people don't want to sacrifice this. They don't want to make sacrifices. They just want to blame people for their shortcomings. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it is. That's just how it is. But I know, I've been on here for a little long, but, I had to come in and talk to you guys real quick, man. But I appreciate everybody who did donate. I wouldn't even think of, usually people donate during the beat review, which I hope y'all donate a lot to the pot tomorrow. But I appreciate you guys for coming on here today, man. I appreciate you guys rocking with me. I'm going to do a few more of these late nighters. Because on the East Coast, it's 11:30. I know a lot of y'all got to get ready for work, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, some of y'all think y'all jobs are bad. But wait till you get into the music industry and get into the studio with an artist that can't figure nothing out. You just sit in the studio. I'm telling you right now. B. Steph said the biggest sacrifice you made. Oh, I'm going to tell you this real quick before I leave. You know what the biggest sacrifice I made? It's a whole story. In 2014, I had my twins in September. The day they were born, I was actually looking for a job. A platinum producer. I was looking for a job. Okay? Didn't care what. I don't care if I had to work in the factory and whatever, because I wanted to make sure I took care of my kids, those twins, right? Then every time I tried to go get a job, I didn't smoke. My piss was clean. Everything was good. Nobody, my homeboy was a manager at a warehouse. They were making like $25, $30 an hour at the time. He didn't even want to hire me because he's like, yo, bro, you don't need to be here. This is not you, bro. You don't need to be here. I'm like, what you mean, bro? Hire me. He's like, nah, bro, you a producer, bro. You don't need to be here. I'm like, So I kept staying in the studio, kept working. December that year, I created my biggest hit. By that March, things were getting out of hand. By June, we were traveling. The biggest sacrifice I had to make was I had to sacrifice my family at the time to make sure that the situation I was in went the way it needed to go. So I sacrificed my family. I ain't sacrificed my family. I sacrificed my family time. The time with my family. For basically a whole year and a half, I was off and on the road. It was very hard for my ex at that time. She just had the babies. Her mom and them just moved up. It was a lot of stuff going on. And they were twins at the time, too. So, come on now. I missed first steps. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff. But in order for that, because I knew if I wasn't there, that situation was going to run off the rails. I stayed there. I was the manager. I was the producer, the security guard, the travel agent. We had a booking agent who helped me out. But I did a lot of that stuff. I was talking to the A&Rs every day of the week, except on Fridays. I was doing all of that stuff, all the logistics, everything. Would come home, You know what I'm saying? On Monday through Thursday, I was taking care of business. Thursday through Sunday, we were doing shows, often gone, sometimes gone for a week, 2 weeks, whatever. I had to sacrifice that family time to make sure that I got that situation right. And I took that sacrifice, and it ultimately destroyed my first marriage. It ultimately destroyed that. But my ex is good. I'm good now. My kids are good. My girl is good now. Everybody's good because of that sacrifice I made. My kids still love me. Everything is all good. And that's the sacrifice that I had to make. Because if I would have left it in anybody else's hands, they would not have gotten to the point where it is. In 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019 was very good years for me producing and everything, and it got me to this point. Okay? So that's the biggest sacrifice I made. And now look where I'm at. Still getting blessed. You know what I'm saying? Still getting blessed, getting big royalty checks till this day. Still being blessed. And I'm still down to earth. One of the producers, I think DJ Be Real is here in town. I told him to come by the studio tomorrow because I'm filming tomorrow. I told him to come on through. You know what I'm saying? I'm still down to earth. If you see me walking on the belt line, I'm going to have a conversation. I'm not going to just say, hey, unless I'm really just like walking, but I'm still going to say, hey, I'm still going to dap you up. I'm still going to have a slight conversation with you. I'm still going to do all of that because I still know my place in society. Okay? So that was my biggest sacrifice. And I'm happy I did it, even though it was hard. I'm happy I did it. But everybody got rewarded in the end. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. That's just the way I am because I understand how I know for a lot of you producers out here who are trying to make it, some of y'all are old, some of y'all are young. I've been there where you guys are at. I've been there. You got to think I started my career pretty late. I started at 20. I didn't get my first hit till I was 27, and then I didn't get my big hit till I was 34. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. So just understand that it can happen at any moment. But if you put your mind to it and stop blaming other people for what's going on with you, you will be okay. You will be fine. Don't blame people. Even when they do you wrong, be like, they did me wrong. This is what happened. But guess what? You let that person come into your life. It's a learning lesson. Even though it hurts, even though you want to choke them sometimes, you just got to say it was a learning lesson. Okay? Yes, 101 is old, but it can happen then too. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, I appreciate you guys hanging in with me tonight, especially for some of you guys who are at work, some of you guys who got to go to work in the morning. I got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, take these kids. Oh, man. But, yeah, I'm going to do more lives like this. If y'all have any topics, please let me know. I'm going to put like a little thing in my communities tab with some topics you want to discuss on live. And, man, hey, Brian, hey, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, man. But thanks to everybody who donated tonight, man. I really appreciate that. That's a surprise. And, man, I thank you guys for just rocking with me. Y'all going to see me again doing more lives. If y'all want to see me doing some cook-ups or if y'all just want to just talk about a few things, that's cool too. But, yeah, you're going to see me on here a little bit more. And if you're just not coming in, make sure you guys watch the live replay as well. I will have that posted up in a second, man. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me, man. And you'll see me again tomorrow night for the live beat review on, what date is that? Tomorrow is the 16th. So April 16, 2024. Live beat review, 9 p.m. tomorrow night. See you guys there. And these beats better be good. All right, man. Y'all rewatch this stream. Share this stream with everybody. Please share it. Share this stream with people. Like the stream, please share it, okay? That's what makes these things work. Share it with people if you can. All right? Appreciate you guys so much, man. Love y'all. Peace out to the congregation.